Good morning, good people of planet Earth. Here we are. It is Thursday morning, November 21st, 2024. It is about 6 o'clock in the morning. My name is Edward Bevilacqua, and here we are in wonderful Pahrump or Pahrumpertucky. You choose. East of Sin City and west of Death Valley. Good morning, Memento Mori, and Watabevi. Good morning to you, and Diana Crowley. Good morning, Diana. Glad that you are back. Okay, so here we are, and our Themo, what is it? No, it's Themo of the day. The theme of today is ba-boom bum. No, it's not ba-boom bum. And it's not boom ba-boom ba-boom ba-boom. It is add more chips. What? Huh? Yeah, add more chips. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a second. But let's do our usual contemplation thinking of why is we here? Good morning, all. Why are we here? We are here. We few, we happy few, we band of brothers and sisters, so to speak. Good morning, 100. That's 100. Is that sort of like 50 cent? We are here to be here together. No, we're here. Well, yes. We are here to help us on our journey through this transcendent life, because that's what it is. It's only life, and life of 100 years of suffering, pure suffering for 100 years is nothing compared to eternity. What does that mean? How can I put that into something I can visualize? Because as Wittgenstein said, things that cannot be pictured cannot be said, because saying them means what? It means nothing. Saying them means nothing. In other words, if I say to you, how much does Thursday weigh? You don't have an answer to that, because Thursday doesn't have weight. Things that cannot be pictured cannot be said, because saying them means nothing. So what does 100 years of pain compared to eternity mean? Well, if the universe is 13.8 billion years old, which is a pretty good guess, and we were going to walk a distance to represent that, and every step we took, every yard is 1,000,000 years. What is that? Well, that's 13.8 billion divided by 1,000,000 is 13,800. 13,800 yards times 3 divided by 5,280 equals 7.84 miles. So if we were walking and each step was 3 feet, and every 3 feet was 1,000,000 years, it would take us 7.84 miles to walk that distance. Now, on the other hand, how long is our life? If a yard is 1,000,000 years and we live to be 100 years, that is 1,000,000 divided by 100, that's 10,000. So 1/10,000th of a yard is our lifespan, which is about equal to the width of a hair on your head. Bonk. So our life, compared to the age of the universe, is like a hair on the top of our head, the width of that, compared to a 7.84 mile walk. If this is suffering, if you have to do this amount of suffering to get that amount of pure bliss, is it worth it? Yes. Yeah, it's worth it, right? Here's another way to look at it. If I say to you, if you let me punch you in the arm as hard as I can without causing permanent damage, how much would you charge me to do that? You know, some people say, well, I don't know, $100, man. But let's say it's $5,000. If you let me punch you in the arm as hard as I can without injuring you, because that would be a challenge for me to not injure you, permanently, to not injure you permanently for $5,000, you'd say, yeah, because you'd know in 2 weeks your arm is going to be better, but you've got $5,000 to do a lot with. Is it worth the pain? Yeah. Is 100 years of pain worth eternity of eternal bliss? Yes. Okay. So really, if you look at it that way, there's no such thing as suffering. Somebody that has the greatest life in the world compared to somebody who has the worst life in the world isn't really a big difference if it only lasts that long, the width of a hair on your head versus an 8-mile walk. It's nothing. So maybe the Hindus had it right when they talked about the caste system. And if you're an untouchable, just leave them alone. They're doing their thing because they want to get to there. They got to do that to get to eternal bliss, happiness, perfection. Okay, so we're here to help people do that. How do we do it? Well, we do it in 3 ways. 2 fundamental ways, the podcast and the worksheet. The worksheet is the gold, people. The worksheet is the gold. The podcast is let's say it's the sizzle. It's the frosting on the cake. Why? Because it does a couple things. One is the coming togetherness of it all, but more importantly, it's creating better habits. That's it. Building better habits. That's the secret. You want to have a better life, build better habits. What's a habit, man? What? Who said that? What's a habit? A habit is unconscious behavior. It's something you do non-consciously without thinking about it. Like, let's say, driving your car. Most of driving car is a habit. It's non-conscious. It's only when somebody's brake lights go on in front of you or something pops out in front of you that, bam, I'm back into awareness of what's going on, conscious awareness of what's going on. I'm always unconsciously aware. But so that's what a habit is. Build better habits. Building better habits. If you have better habits, you're going to do better. And then we want to have another habit on top, below those habits, which is every habit you do, consciously try to do it just a little bit better every time. So if you're driving your car, try to have the habit of driving your car just a little bit better. Most people cut corners, right? So they start out being hypervigilant, good drivers, and then they get a little bit lazy, right? The other way is to be a little bit better driver, and over time it'd be like, damn, or as Wada Bevry would say, dang, that guy's a good driver. Okay, so worksheet, showing up, community, building better habits, repetition. Share this as you can. If my life is the width of a hair, I've been taking myself entirely too seriously. Right. Ding, 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 ding. What do we have for Johnny? A chip. We've got a chip for her. And I don't mean a chocolate chip. No, we've got a chip for her. Right. Now, on the other hand, what if you go to the lake of fire? Because that's what Jesus said. If you don't follow my commandments, if you follow my commandments, you get to be one with the Father and I, one with us. Pure spirit. You get to be with us. Otherwise, well, it's the lake of fire. So that would be pretty bad. Just think in terms of hell is the absence of love. So some guys prison like that are outlaws, and yeah, man, I can't wait to get to hell. Boy, it's going to be rape and pillage all over. No, that's heaven for you. Hell is the absence of all love, eternal torment for whatever for you is torment. Everybody's torment would be a little bit different. Eternal torment. Now, Jordan Peterson would say that's the kind of thing that chases you. I'm not going to let that catch me. I don't want that. Dang. Right, too serious. That's the thing. Jordan Peterson says you put out there the thing that you want. That pulls you towards itself. The vision of the best you 3 years from now. That pulls you towards that. And at the same time, you maintain the thing that's going to chase you forward. right? Because it's fear more than greed pulls you forward. So when they did the original mouse through a maze experiments, they found out that it wasn't the best smelling cheese or whatever. It wasn't the hungriest mouse that got to the trap. It was the mouse that was trying to get away from the cat. When they put cat scent in the little antechamber before they opened the door, as soon as that door was open, that mouse, even if they didn't know what a cat was, that mouse, that's cat smell, put so much fear equals energy, fear energy into that mouse that it quickly got through the maze faster than by motivation, positive motivation. Last 4 or 6 years I've been building better habits, replacing the bad habits. I just had many bad habits, especially the way I thought. Right. So it's kind of like to have an attitude of, I'm just going to put all of the stuff I believe, I'm going to put it in this virtual briefcase or bag, shoulder bag, I don't know, Gucci purse, whatever. What's her name? Kate Spade bag. I'm going to put it in that. I'm going to put it over here off to the side. It's there. I can get it whenever I want. It's always over there. I can get it. But I'm just going to put all of those beliefs off to the side. Let them go. All right. Okay. So we're 11:32 in. Our themo is add more chips. Okay. What does that mean? What? Okay, in the worksheet, Darren Hardy's talking about that study just recently released at Carnegie Mellon. Ding, ding, ding. Who do we know that went to Carnegie Mellon? Johnny? Anybody know anybody that graduated from Carnegie Mellon? About Lucy, right? Lucha Libre. You have to have the attitude you don't want to know stuff. Okay, no, it's what you know. Take what I know, put it off to the side, be like a sponge. I want to be a brick. Some of these Protestants that I deal with, brick. I know what I know. God told me this stuff. I know it's true. I'm not open. Don't confuse me with this other stuff. Blasphemy, blasphemy. I can't take, my God is going to be mad at me if I listen to what you're saying. Dang it, you SOB. I'll sock you in the nose. So, chips. Okay, Darren Hardy down below. Great one. Carnegie Mellon released a study saying what people try to do is they try to hoard their chips. Mercantilism, they try to hoard their chips. But it turns out for every chip you give away, you get 2 chips back. Isn't that what the churches say about tithing? Right. Give us your money, we will distribute it, and you will get double. Whatever you give, you'll get back. Greed, man, that's a appeal to the greed. You're tithing because you want something in return for you, as opposed to the other way. I have a duty. We all belong to one another. As Mother Teresa said, we all belong to one another. We just keep forgetting about that. So I have prospered. I am going to contribute to a greater pool. So in other words, like let's say yesterday, the great event we had turned out better than expected. Almost 40 people, 40 humans, plus perhaps, I don't know, 15 staff. I don't know, that's a question for Memento Mori to figure out. Or the churches came together. This church gave food. This church supplied labor. This church showed up. This church did this. This church did that. A whole bunch of churches got together. And the combined value was way more than a person going out and saying, here, I've got $20. Here's some Fritos. Well, maybe not Fritos, but here's whatever. I'm going to feed you for a day. what happened yesterday was way more than that. And it was an investment in people. Now we need to keep going. Chug, 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 chug. Reach out to the volunteers to set appointments to help memento mori. Yes, it was great because people came together, not, oh, I'll give $20. No, I'll spend $20 or I'll contribute $20 worth of value to one person. No. Okay, so yesterday was great. I'm talking fast because I gotta do things, gotta get to Vegas today, baby. Vegas, baby. Let's see. So that is the Mimo Themo of the day. Add more chips. Every time you do something for someone else, you get another chip back. Every time you take responsibility when something went wrong. Sorry, but you got to say it the right way, like that. Sorry. No, you don't say it like that. You don't say sorry like that. It's more like a repentance type of sorry. Like I'll never do that again. Sorry. I'm really sorry. I get it. I understand what that meant to you. I understand the violation, the breach of trust, whatever. I understand that. Message delivered, won't happen again. I'm in the penalty box. Versus, hey man, don't blame me. It's not my fault. The blah blah happened. I was going to do it, but this other thing happened. Just take responsibility for it. Yeah, you wish it was Fritos. Correct. That's why I retracted the Fritos, because I would do it for Fritos. Cut that Frito part out because that's like my other form of kryptonite, right? I work for Fritos and oatmeal raisin cookies and the usual, whatever that means. Okay. Okay, people, let's see. Seth Godin. Compared to what? Emotions are often tied to events, and events feel absolute. Right. But events are rarely absolute. They're almost always relative. Isn't it interesting how whenever anybody tells them the Holy Spirit told them that, it's just at their level. It's never like 2 levels above them. It's never like, hey, psst, here's who's going to win. Here's the winning lottery numbers. Or go work for this company, or go do that. Go do this other stuff. It's never things beyond somebody's ability to imagine. But events are rarely absolute. They're almost always relative. It's relative. How does this compare to what I was expecting? How does it compare to what others like me are expecting? How does it compare to yesterday? When we change the comparison, the event itself is changed as well. So we talked about suffering. Compared to what? The suffering we experience today compared to all of the things we're going to go to in the next 2 years is probably very minor, but it certainly is minor compared to eternity, right? Bring it on. Give me any, oh, I'm going to die? Great, I get to go there sooner. Yeah, okay, how do I get to be a hero? Die, as Jesus said, John 15:3, be willing to sacrifice your life for others. Right. What does that mean? I get there sooner, right? Steve Jobs said, everybody wants to get to heaven, but nobody wants to die to get there. When we change the comparison, the event itself is changed as well. It's often difficult to find the relative. Where's crazy Aunt Sally when you need her? But that doesn't mean it isn't there. Okay, find the relative. Find that crazy Aunt Sally. All right, okay, so here we is at 1908, time to say cut. Diana says, if a person tells me they're sorry, they did it on purpose, the correct way is I apologize, that wasn't my intention. Could be. Depends who you're talking to. If you're talking to a little kid, maybe not. If you're talking to Mother Teresa, maybe not. But for the general thing, I think it's a good start. I believe to suffer in my life shouldn't be at the benefit so others don't suffer by making me suffer. I have to contemplate that, but it's 1943, so it's time to go, go, go. Go out there, make something happen.